Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet, and we are back here with the Highland Scotties Sports Talk here today this week, and this is episode 32, and as you already know, Highland is finally national champions of the college football world. Yes, we are gonna hoist the trophy, as you've seen there in the last or the previous episode or previous video of this series. We were able to win our game here. And it's just a quick retrospect of the season here as you take a look there of what our season looked like. Well, actually, Washington season. Our season there, you see that big loss that we had there, that overtime loss there, which was a real big turning point for us because we won that. We lost that game in overtime so late in the season that we dropped back quite a few. I think we dropped back to like 7th. And then with just the dumb luck and be able to play some really good games leading up to leading up to the bowl, getting close to the bowl season here, we lucked out, and there's some teams that fell, especially of all the teams in the college football world. Alabama was able to drop a game against Auburn, and we were able to go in and take over, and we were number 3 there in or number 2 in the coaches poll, but number 3 in the BCS standings. Now, of course, that's the most important standings of them all because that decides who is going to be number 1 and who's going to be number 2, and of course, who's going to play in the national championship game. Of course, Kason, as you see here, we're taking a look at some footage here from that game. Kason, of course, won the Heisman Trophy, or is the Heisman Trophy winner, if I can say that correctly. And of course, he had a really good season there. He had some ups and some downs. But for the most part here, he did a great job there of really showing what he can do for this for the team and for himself. And we'll try to see if we can get him to come back here next year or if he's decided to go early. And we'll know all about that here in the next couple of episodes here in the off season, if he's going to be able to come back or not. And hopefully he'll be able to make a return here. Maybe try to have some kind of repeat performance that he had this season for next season, or try to help us get another chance to go to the national championship again and win a second one for us. See if we can go back to back. Now, we did go back to back in the national championship. Of course, remember the first season unexpectedly wasn't really wasn't supposed to be there, I guess you could say, against Alabama. Of course, we did lose that game there, not in the worst fashion, but we learned a lot of ourselves, and of course we applied that to the second season, where of course we were able to get to the national championship against a 2-loss team, that being Washington, being able to get in there. And of course, it was funny because they lost to Stanford and Arizona, 2 teams that had a better record than them, and both those teams went to some pretty decent bowls here. But Washington, for some reason here, I guess points wise, and I guess the committee seen something in them, they were able to get a chance to be number 1 and go in the national championship. Now, unfortunately, they didn't show up for that game here. As you take a look here at the halftime standing or halftime stats right here, and of course, they were only able to get a field goal for the most part here. Highland did a good job there at times defensively. There did a great job there, getting attacking the quarterback, which they really needed to do, and of course, getting the deep pass, or there's a couple deep passes, I guess you could say they did, but for the most part here, did a great job there of just really doing a great job of controlling the game and just managing and getting themselves in the position that they were in, which was to win the ball game there. As you see there, now it's going to be a great catch there from Little, who is we're so excited for next year here for him and Flanagan connecting like they did this season. Of course, we did have a bit of a blemish besides the LSU game. We lost a very important team member, but we were able to have him back towards the second half of this season, pretty much the last 4 games of the season there, and that was no other than Hunter Cannon. Now, Cannon was taken out in game 2 of the season, where we faced Georgia there, and we were able to get revenge on Georgia on that win. And of course, having our quarterback stand upright, because remember, Georgia, they really took out Flanagan there quickly in that game, where Rush had to take over, but they end up taking out, of course, Hunter this year, and Hunter not too happy about that. He had that bruise tailbone there, and he was unable to play in quite a few games. And really important games there. I still say to this, and I think I said this many times already, but he could have been a very key figure in that LSU game if he was in it. I think he would have really helped us out there and been clutch on a lot of situations. But that's in the past now. We're kind of moving on here. Now we're national champions, and then the question is, everybody in Highland wants to know, can we do it again? So that's the big question here. As you see, hometown hero, his hometown, or it's not his hometown team, but it's alma mater, Coach Teddy Bonds, Highland wins their first ever national championship here as a FBS team. So there you see Deshaun Robbins, your player of the game there. He had a really good game there. Defensively, like I said, defensively we did great there, especially the mid part, the latter part of the third inning or third quarter. Going into the fourth there, we did a great job defensively. And then you see, of course, Teddy Bonds and the team winning that big game there and bringing home that national championship trophy. So, like I said, the question is this year, for the upcoming year here, can we repeat, most importantly? And then also, too, some other things. Can we get Hunter Cannon get in the picture there for the Heisman? He had some big numbers going into this season. Unfortunately, he was taken out very quickly there because of that big game there. And we're trying to see if we can try to bounce back him for next year. Hopefully, he'll be able to come back or wants to come back next year here. Not knowing really about that just yet, but hopefully we'll have some news about that here coming up here in the next episode or two, as we do have some off-season video coming up here pretty soon. Hopefully you guys got a chance to actually watch the full entire game. If you did, I'm gonna leave a link somewhere here above somewhere in the eye, up there in the eye or something. You guys can check that out and watch the full-length game. I think there's a link down in the description here also too, where you can go there and click on that and check out the full game, so you guys can see raw footage of it and see how we won the national championship. But it was a great game. Nonetheless, there was a fun one there, and like I said, we're able to win it. And actually, talking to Coach Teddy Bonds there, we talked to him about what the schedule would look like for next year. He already said that LSU was one of the games. He wasn't sure if it was going to be the first game of the season, but he says he does want to put they're going to be on the schedule, and it will be in a neutral site. I believe it will be in Dallas. So, and not to mention, he also said that he wouldn't mind playing at Washington again next season. This time at their place there in Seattle. So we'll see. We got some pretty big games here, but of course, there's some rules we got to follow here. We can only play 2 ranked opponents in a season, at least at the start of the season, 2 ranked opponents. And of course, any high-profile school that we would play, like we have Notre Dame on the schedule next year, and I believe Nebraska on the schedule. Both of those teams will have to play, of course, on the road. So, and of course, if we get a chance to play Washington, of course, that'll be another road game right there. So, so far, I think I believe we do have another neutral site there. I said natural again, didn't I? Neutral site again, and I think that neutral site should be somewhere. I don't know exactly where it's going to be at, but I know it's going to be another high-profile school. I believe it's going to be Notre Dame, but I'm not for sure just yet. But we got some good ideas there. If you guys have any ideas of who we should play next season, and college football wise and whatever, let me know down below in the comment section. Maybe I'll really consider some of you guys' schools, and convince me what school should we play for and why, or play against for the season. So so far, like I said, this was a great season here. Good way to end it there. 12-1 national championship winners, and of course number 3 overall. And we walk out of Arizona there, which was Phoenix, Arizona Stadium there, where the Cardinals play at, and we were able to win that national championship. So we'll try to see if we can do the same thing again. Like I said, coming up in the next 2 episodes, it will be part 1 and part 2 of the off season. We'll see what players are going to stick around. Of course, we'll go into and show you guys some of the players that will, of course, will be showing up to campus next fall, and continue, of course, our run of trying to scout some more players for next season. And of course, you guys need to bring in your guys' players. We're going to bring in some new players from that are from you guys, so we can put you guys in that pool to see if we can recruit you guys to be a part of the Highland Scotties. So leave a link down, or I will. You guys know the information, you know all that. I'll talk about more about that in the next video coming up here for season number 3. Yeah, season number 3, and we'll get that started here very, very soon here. So, like I said, congratulations to Highland Scotties and to Coach Teddy Bonds on winning the national championship. And now, our next step now is to try to do it again. So we'll see what we can do in season 3, and we'll see where we're gonna who we're gonna play against and whatnot coming up in the next episode. That's it for this episode of the Highland Scotties Sports Talk here. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. Shame on you. You need to do so. Not to mention, also follow us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Discord. Links are down below in the description. Also, don't forget to hit that bell notification so you guys can be notified when this series or any other series is uploaded to the channel. As always, keep yourselves and each other healthy. I'll see you guys next time.